Let's face it, workplaces can be dangerous places. That's why the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, requires your employer to first and foremost assess your workplace and identify all hazards and dangers that you face when performing your day-to-day job. Once these hazards have been identified, your employer will try to eliminate them or reduce them as much as possible. To help protect you from any hazards that remain, your employer will provide equipment to help keep you safe. You know this as personal protective equipment, or PPE. It's your employer's responsibility to determine what PPE you need based on the environment you work in and the type of work that you do, to provide the PPE to you, and to train you how to wear it, care for it, and use it properly. Although there are a few exceptions, in most cases your employer must provide you with the proper PPE at no cost to you. Once you have your PPE, it's up to you to wear it, and wear it properly. Think about it. If your employer is committed to your safety, you should be too.
So it's really important to help people understand, and people need to recognize for themselves that you've got to wear personal protective equipment before you learn the hard way.
As an employee, you have several responsibilities when it comes to PPE. First of all, you need to check your PPE daily to make sure it fits properly, is working as it should, and shows no signs of damage or excessive wear. Next, and this sounds way too simple, wear it. If you're required to wear PPE, there's no excuse for not doing so. Employees are often injured because they failed to wear their PPE or they wore it incorrectly. If your PPE is sitting in your locker or on a workbench, it's not doing you any good when you're working. If you're using a piece of PPE that's damaged or doesn't fit properly, that's not protecting you either. In these cases, inform your employer or supervisor immediately so your PPE can be repaired or replaced. We simply can't emphasize this enough. Wear your PPE properly during every work shift to ensure that you're protecting yourself as well as you possibly can. Finally, it's up to you to care for, clean, and maintain your PPE. PPE will take care of you only as long as you take care of it. Head protection is designed to protect you from impact or penetration hazards such as falling or flying objects, electrical shocks and burns, and even bumping your head against a fixed object. Sure, that might sound silly, but it happens more often than you think. Hard hats are classified by the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, and are rated on the type of protection they provide. They're marked inside to show the approval. Type 1 hard hats are specifically designed to prevent impact to the top of the head, while Type 2 hard hats prevent impact to the top of the head and from the side. The outer shell of a hard hat is designed to absorb impact and resist penetration by deflecting objects from hitting your head. The inner suspension system assures a space between the shell and your head to absorb the impact and provide a secure fit. It spreads the force of impact over a wider area of your head. It's important to adjust the headband so the hard hat won't fall off, but still provides a comfortable fit. Adjust the chin strap if your hard hat is equipped with one. That may be the case if you do overhead work or if you work at heights. Some hard hats are even equipped with other safety gear, such as hearing protection, a face shield, or a lamp.
Just because there's a cage above the forklift doesn't mean something can't fall through the cage and hit you in the head. Well, our head is the most precious part of our body, so this is why we wear the safety helmet.
There are 3 classes of hard hats. Class G general hard hats offer good protection from impact hazards and exposure to low voltage. Class G hard hats are used primarily to protect workers from falling objects and flying debris. You should wear this type of hard hat if there are people working above you who may drop tools or materials. Let's hope they don't, but it could happen. Class E electrical hard hats are electrically insulated and protect against high voltage shocks and burns. These hard hats are commonly worn by electrical workers and by those who work on or near exposed energized parts. Be aware, however, that there's a limit to the amount of voltage protection these hard hats offer. The hard hat you're using must be rated for the voltage you may be exposed to. Finally, Class C conductive hard hats are used for general service and offer no voltage protection. These hard hats are usually worn by those who have no electrical hazards to worry about, such as workers in manufacturing areas. Class C hard hats are mainly used to protect you from impact or from bumping your head on objects, like when you're working in tight quarters where there's low overhead clearance or where you could hit your head on obstructions. Keep in mind that hard hats do have limits on how much impact and penetration protection they can provide, in addition to limits on electrical protection. Always follow the manufacturer's directions on how to wear your hard hat. Don't wear it backwards unless it's been approved to be worn that way. And if you need a hard hat liner, wear one designed for that purpose, not a baseball cap or a bandana. The hard hat you wear should offer you the best protection for the job you do. It needs to fit properly and must be snug enough to comfortably stay in place. There should also be proper clear space between the suspension system and the shell. Be sure to wear it properly according to the manufacturer's recommendations and inspect it every day before putting it on and starting work. If your hard hat is cracked or shows other signs of damage or excessive wear, replace it. Don't apply stickers or paint unless the manufacturer says it's okay to do so. Some materials can weaken the shell or the electrical insulation. For similar reasons, don't store the hard hat where there's direct sunlight or excessive heat. If your hard hat takes a solid blow, replace it after the impact. Obviously, you don't want to take any chances when it comes to protecting your head. Your eyes and face are among the most exposed parts of your body. Eye and face protection is designed to protect you from a wide range of hazards, including flying chips and sparks, dust, splashes, and even glare, to name a few. Safety glasses are the most common type of eye protection and are usually worn in general work environments while using tools, grinding, woodworking, and masonry. They primarily protect you from impacts with flying fragments, large chips, sand, and dirt. Glasses with side shields provide additional protection all around your eyes. Regular glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses don't provide any eye protection, so always wear safety glasses. Some models are designed to be worn over regular glasses. Safety goggles protect against sparks and impact hazards. They offer the best protection from chemical splashes. They're designed to fit tight and close to your eyes and face and provide more thorough protection than safety glasses. Some models are designed to fit over your prescription glasses. Goggles provide some ventilation to help keep them from fogging up. Use goggles with indirect ventilation for splash hazards. Face shields and welding helmets are designed to provide full protection for your face, but you should never use a face shield as your primary eye protection. A face shield should only serve as secondary eye protection, and you should always wear safety glasses or goggles under a face shield. A face shield is intended to protect you from severe impact hazards, along with hot sparks, splash from molten metal, and chemical splashes. It's commonly used when very hot items, chemicals, or light radiation are involved. Eye and face protection is designed to meet ANSI standards. Lenses and frames are marked to show ANSI's approval. Follow company rules to wear eye and face protection properly. Sometimes you can be required to wear eye protection in certain areas regardless of your activities at the time. Make sure your eye protection fits comfortably, provides clear visibility, and is appropriate for your job. Straps, temples, and headbands are adjustable to ensure a comfortable fit. When cleaning your eye protection, flush the lenses with clean water before wiping them. Inspect them regularly for signs of damage, and replace them if they don't fit properly or if they no longer provide adequate protection and clear vision. Replace pitted, scratched, or broken lenses. Finally, store your eye protection in a clean, dry place.
Now, your eye is extremely important because unlike other body parts where you get cut, a laceration, and it will heal, your eyes, if it gets injured more often than not, you can find yourself in a bad situation for a long period of time. Your eye won't heal. Your eyes do not recover.
You might not think much about hearing protection while on the job because industrial noise might not seem like an obvious hazard. Hearing loss can be tough to notice because it happens gradually. If you don't use proper hearing protection, the long-term effect on your hearing can be drastic.
So when I work with people with hearing loss, it's really often that I like to talk about the 4 Ps. Hearing loss is painless, it's permanent, it's progressive. You don't know that it's even happening, but it is preventable.
Sound is measured in decibels. For example, a normal conversation is about 60 decibels, while the average factory produces about 70 to 90 decibels or more. Running a belt sander produces about 100 decibels. That's enough to cause significant hearing loss over time. In fact, just 1 hour of belt sanding at 100 decibels is equivalent in noise exposure to 8 hours at 85 decibels. 2 effective ways to protect your hearing are limiting your exposure to loud noises, either the noise level or the amount of time you're exposed to it, and by using hearing protection to decrease those noise levels. If you're exposed to noise levels of 85 decibels or above, your employer is required by OSHA to reduce the noise level, provide you with the proper hearing protection, and implement a hearing conservation program. That program will include monitoring the noise level, notifying employees of the monitoring results, and audiometric testing of your hearing. OSHA requires this testing be conducted within 6 months of the noise exposure and every year after that. During the test, a technician sends tones through earmuffs to find the softest level you can hear at various sound frequencies.
So the reason we do a hearing test annually is because as hearing changes, it happens in really small increments. And our brain is so good at adapting, it gets used to that. And we don't really realize it's even happening.
Hearing protection devices include a noise reduction rating, or NRR, on the package. The higher the rating, the more noise the device blocks out. There are 3 main types of hearing protection. We'll start with earplugs, which provide the best protection against constant noise exposure. That's because when inserted correctly, earplugs will form to your ear canal and provide a good seal. Earplugs can be either disposable or reusable. When using earplugs, your hands need to be clean and dry. Aside from being unsanitary, if dirt or grease on your hands gets transferred to your earplugs, they may become uncomfortable and loose in your ear canal. When inserting them, shape the earplugs according to the instructions. You'll need to lift your ear up and back to open your ear canal properly and ensure a snug fit. If you don't get a snug fit, you won't be getting the best protection. The second type of hearing protection is headband plugs, which are sometimes called canal caps. You might use these if you're exposed to temporary or intermittent noise, like machinery that gets turned on and off frequently. As you can see, headband plugs can be inserted and removed quickly. But they don't fit as snugly in the ear as earplugs do because they don't form to the inside of your ear canal. They also don't provide the same level of coverage as do earmuffs. Earmuffs are good at blocking out noise because they cover your ears completely. But earmuffs require a perfect seal to be effective. Glasses, long hair, or long sideburns can prevent a proper seal. Facial movements like chewing can also reduce the protection level. Earmuffs are appropriate if you wear hearing aids. Regardless of which type of hearing protection you use, make sure you wear the type of protection that's both comfortable for you and best suited for the work that you do. Always read the manufacturer's instructions and wear the hearing protection properly. Wear your hearing protection whenever and wherever your employer requires it, even if the environment doesn't seem that loud. And wear that hearing protection even if you're hearing impaired, to protect your remaining hearing.
It changes people's lives. When you're not able to hear and not able to communicate as easily, and by simply using that hearing protection that's already there for you to use, you can really save your hearing, because once it's gone, you're just never able to get it back.
You may have some coworkers you don't always like listening to. but protect your hearing so you can hear them when you want to or need to. An oxygen-deficient atmosphere can kill you, and airborne contaminants that you can't see, feel, or smell can damage your lungs and other organs. That's why respiratory protection is so important. Respiratory protection is intended to protect your lungs from harmful airborne contaminants, such as mist, dust, gases, vapors, or fumes, or from atmospheres that have low levels of oxygen. That's why it's crucial to wear respiratory protection in those oxygen-deficient environments and in areas where hazards can't be sufficiently reduced by ventilation. When air contaminants are at hazardous levels, OSHA requires your employer to have a written program for respiratory protection, to ensure that you're medically able to wear a respirator, to train you in how to use the right respirator for your type of work, and to conduct a fit test to ensure your respirator fits properly when you receive it, and at least annually after that. You'll need to do a seal check each time you put on a respirator with a tight-fitting facepiece. Use your hands to cover the mask's air inlet area. Then gently inhale. The mask